We were supposed to have a shoot here a couple of weeks ago and we had to cancel because there was way too much going on. The rough-ins were being finished, there was spray foam insulation, there was the concrete being poured for the in-floor heat, there was drywall happening, there was flooring being installed and delivered, there was stairs being installed, and it has just created a very crazy pace happening at the house. So we took that time to really focus on sourcing the finishing details that we needed. I spent a lot of time at Kravit making sure that I had all of the fabric selections and the trim details and the piping details for the custom furniture that we are going to be having made at Winnington. I also finalized all of my plumbing fixtures from House of Rohl Studio by Emco, which I'm so excited about. Thank you to House of Rohl Studio by Emco for sponsoring a portion of this video. I'm going to show you guys all of the beautiful pieces that I found there. Back in my old neighborhood, going shopping today. But first, starting at my favorite coffee bar in the neighborhood, Neo. I'm on my way into the House of Rohl by Emco studio now. I've got all my samples, taking you guys shopping to go look at all the plumbing fixtures that I've selected for my house. Hello, Adam. Good morning, how are you? I'm here today at the House of Rohl Studio by Emco showroom in the King East Design District, downtown Toronto. It's my old neighborhood. It's so nice to be back here. This is actually one of my most favorite suppliers to come and visit because the showroom is so beautiful. It makes such a difference to be sourcing in a place that puts the care and attention to detail into their spaces in the same way that I do for the homes that I design. It's such a collaborative environment with the associates that work here, and I just find it such an enjoyable experience. So one of my favorite things about working with House of Rohl Studio by Emco is that there are many different brands that fall under the umbrella. That means that I can find fixtures at the different price points that I'm looking for. There are beautiful styles coming from Perrin & Rowe, which is handmade in the UK, all the way to their Rio Bell line, which is Canadian and so perfect for a lot of the spaces that you want something beautiful, but at a little bit more of a reasonable price point. And so I think coming in here and seeing all of the options and being able to look at the fixtures themselves, move them around, see how they pair up with other possibilities is a really nice experience. So we got our millwork samples in the mail the other day, which I'm really excited about. Now that I've got kind of everything combined in the kitchen and I can see it with the faucet, it makes me so happy. This detail on the door profile is very traditional, this interior bead in the shaker. And when I saw this Perrin & Rowe fixture, I knew immediately this was the one for the kitchen. It's such a statement piece. It is absolutely stunning. And just the additional details on here where you see the different banding, you see the different shapes. We've got some hammered areas. We've got a large gooseneck. It was just such a perfect fit. I was going back and forth between the finish color for it. This is the unlacquered brass, which I am a big fan of unlacquered brass. It does patina over time and that's part of the charm. Ultimately, I settled on the polished nickel color, which is, I think, going to be a very timeless choice. And I am mixing metals in the house. I think that that gives it a very curated look. What I really wanted to do for the primary bathroom plumbing fixtures was find something that looked very elevated, very sophisticated, but wasn't an over-the-top budget item. I was really happy when Adam from the showroom introduced me to the Lombardia collection by Rohl, because I think that this is a perfect marriage of something that is a reasonable price point, but not compromising on beauty or functionality. What I really loved is these chunky handles that say hot and cold. I've always wanted hot and cold labeled faucets in a bathroom. And this one is actually also going to be in polished nickel. I picked Rio Bell for the basement bathroom and for the third floor bathroom. Rio Bell is actually Canadian manufactured. I'm happy to be able to have Canadian made products in the house. This is the finish for the faucet that we're doing. This is also the faucet itself, but we're gonna do the cross handles like you see on this one. So I really love how this polished nickel, very simplistic look is going to pair with the wallpaper we've got going in the bathroom, the floor tile, and the wall tiles. One thing I really like about being able to come to this studio and be able to see the pieces in person are that you get to touch it, feel it, see it with your samples and determine if it's the right one for you or not. And I came in here, I was like, okay, Adam, these are the ideas in my head for this space. And that's when he pulled a lot of different options for me for the different rooms. I'm so glad you guys were able to come shopping with me. Wasn't it such a great experience being here? I'm gonna take you back to the house, show you what's been happening. It is going to be a lot of logistical coordinating over the next couple of months because we are heavy into the finishing stage now. Back at the house today, it is the end of March, slowly warming up in this city. Spring is coming, finally. I'm gonna take you into the house, give you guys a tour. It looks so much different than the last time we were here. I'm a little bit dressed down today because there's drywall dust everywhere, but that's okay because that is a sign of progress. Come with me. Inside, doesn't it look so different? So everything is completely drywalled. The top 2 floors are fully taped and mudded. The main floor is boarded, but we still need to do taping and mudding, and the basement, same thing. We're at this stage in finishes right now where we're going to be kind of working floor by floor. Alaire has been amazing with accommodating our desired move-in date, which is like mid-August. And so because of that, they've had to do a lot of logistical coordination to make sure that, first of all, the trades aren't all working on top of each other, even though that is bound to happen when you have this many trades on site, but also that everything gets done in the proper order. So we are really just working as a team right now, and everybody's doing their best. I'm gonna take you guys through the whole space, but first I just wanted to show you the sample of our newel posts for the stairs came, and I am loving it. I remember the one thing that I actually changed at the very last minute. So I had like finally approved all of our millwork drawings after, I don't know, maybe like 17 different rounds of like slightly tweaking each little thing. And it's funny because I feel like with clients, I'm so decisive, and with myself, I just like sit there and I think about everything so granularly. But anyways, finally it signed off on all of the millwork drawings, and then I called Dwayne and I was like, I'm gonna make one more change. I felt like something was missing from the kitchen island. I felt like the shape of it was perfect, the overhang was perfect. We're doing stools in more of an L shape rather than like right all along the back like a typical island. The return side of the island was the short side where the 2 stools were gonna sit, just felt like it was missing something. The countertop was basically cantilevered over the edge, and I felt like it needed something. So what we decided to do is use the same profile of the stair railing newel post, invert it, so turn it upside down, and have it in the kitchen island as legs. That made me feel like the drawings were 100% complete. I did have to make one last change. It wouldn't be me without doing that, and so I really feel like that is exactly the right finished look to the island so that it all makes sense. You'll see the legs of the island here and the newel post right there. And the banquette has a little finial piece on the post of the bench, and that has the same profile too. So I'm really all about continuity and being able to have the same shapes in different applications. So you'll see it boom, boom, boom. It's gonna be great. I feel like the last time we were standing at the patio door, I was like trying to pull open the old sliding door. This is a very different look than what it used to be. I've got beautiful French doors here. We're gonna have super nice MTech hardware on here. These are from Windsor Windows and Doors, so they match the profile of everything else. The windows are getting installed today, so this is the pass-through window, or our version of the pass-through window, the French casement, which is going to be over kitchen and our outdoor kitchenette area. And we've got the dining room here. It's just like seeing what's happening in the backyard now. It's going to look so much different over the next few months. And that was one of the things that Fraser and I really prioritized in the budget when we were going through everything, is landscaping. I've talked about this before with you guys, but you really should have a landscaping number in your budget from the beginning, because I guarantee you if you don't, you will have gone past your budget during the build and there won't be room left over to add landscaping at the end. So it is something that should be incorporated right from the beginning, so that you know that you can make not only the interiors of the house beautiful, but all of the surrounding exteriors beautiful as well. You guys might notice the new stairs are in, which was so exciting for us. You might also notice that the bottom tread is missing. That's because of a design detail that happened when we changed the bottom tread from square to having a rounded edge. It pushed the rounded edge over the opening, and that did not sit well with me. We are reworking the bottom treads. They will have a rounded edge on the right side on this floor and on the second floor, and more of a kind of very lightly squared edge on this side near the opening so that it still sits within the opening. The old tread that was here not that long ago was literally like sitting over top of this. So just have to rework that a little bit. It's only for the main floor and the second floor. Luckily it's not too much work, but the rest of the stairs look amazing. And I'm so happy that we went with the decision to move this window up by about, I think it was 6 inches or 8 inches. It was lower than that when it first got installed, and because of the change in floor heights from the in-floor heat and the additional concrete needed, and because of the underpinning, it changed the heights of where the landings were going to land. And I am so much happier with the fact that we moved this window up. It sits way better on this landing. You get this feeling of coming down the stairs with all this natural light. And what's nice about it too is the stairs are kind of like floating in front of the window, so it feels kind of architectural. Anyways, really happy with that. I'm gonna take you guys upstairs now. You'll notice like some interesting holes, I will say. They're gonna get covered. So there's like a little triangle piece here. We are gonna fill that in with drywall. And then there was a question on what do we do with this opening right here that peeks through kind of right to my office. I'm gonna drywall that over. We're going into the kids' rooms now. One of the details that we really had to work out was where this landing sat in relation to my daughter's room. Originally on the drawings, the landing was going to only be like to here, and then the first step was gonna start, and that to me just felt like such a safety hazard if my daughter ever wasn't like really paying attention, walking out of her room, boom, there's the stairs. So this is a way better landing. I'm really, really happy with the location and the placement of it, and it gives you lots of good clearance to get upstairs and into the kids' bedrooms. We were recently in Lake Louise, and it was the first time that our kids like shared a room. They were sleeping in the same room, separate from us. It was like its own little loft area, and it was the first time that our son was out of his crib and in like a big boy bed, and we could just hear them talking to each other, like, I mean, not all night, but for at least like 3 hours long after Fraser and I had gone to bed. And so seeing their rooms beside each other now, I'm like, oh, they're gonna be talking through the walls. It's gonna be really cute, but it was actually like just heartwarming. Anyways, we got back from Lake Louise, and I can hear them talking to each other down the hallway. Got the green tiles. These are part of the tile striping pattern that we're putting into the kids' bathrooms. Got flooring in here. This is basically like a holding room for a bunch of materials. Okay, so we're in my son's room now. Looking great. This was the room that I said had some like janky bulkheads. It didn't turn out too bad. I think it's fine. Like a little bulkhead there and then a little slope. But honestly, I think with the wallpaper, it'll hide itself. It's always like an interesting challenge when the ceiling has like a bit of a curve to it, or it's not like a 90-degree wall. You always got to think about how you're going to finish kind of the curving part. Does the ceiling get painted one color and then the bulkhead another color? Does the slope get painted a different color than the bulkhead? I think what we'll do is take the wallpaper up to where it slopes, and then the ceiling color will be the bottom of the bulkhead, front of the bulkhead, and across and all the way over. I think it's gonna look amazing. And he's getting a really cute bed made. So I let him pick from 3 fabrics, just like I let my daughter pick from different wallpapers. I let my son pick from 3 different fabrics for the upholstered bed that Whittington & Co. is making for him. And he landed on the one that I wanted, which was great. So it's gonna have bumblebees on the headboard and the frame, and then we're doing like a contrast piping detail in like a kind of like a brown velvet color, which is gonna look beautiful. I don't know what sheets I'm gonna get that are gonna match with the bees, but we will find something. He's got a nice size closet in here. And then over here, we've got the kids' bathroom. So we've had some work happen in here already. We have the tub deck that's been installed already by Salim. The tub deck is a quartz material. It has a rounded bullnose edge, which is gonna be really nice. So when you're installing tiles, unless you want an unfinished edge showing, which for the most part you don't unless it's like a Zalige handmade tile, you need to cover this edge. So this edge is going to be installed on the wall, and then you need to cover this somehow to make it finished and meet with the drywall. Typically, people use Schluter products. They're like metal edges that sit behind the tile and then line up on the side of it so that you don't see the edge of the tile and it blends in quite nicely. Schluter edges come in a lot of different colors now, so it is better than it used to be for sure. But Kate, our tile installer, had a really great suggestion for the kids' bathroom. We are already using this bullnose, this is a marble. We're already using this bullnose profile around the kids' vanity. So she suggested using this as well as the tile edge instead of using a Schluter edge. So what that means is this is going to be what finishes the tile as opposed to like a metal edge. Really excited about that. I think that it's gonna be just such an elevated detail and like, how gorge. Plus throw some green in there, plus we have a stained vanity. So excited. Woo! Oh my God, that's gonna be the kitchen counter. Ah, look at it, look at it.